Hello, hello, and welcome to You Are on the Mic with Helena and Michelle, Social Studio Gurus. We are so excited that you've joined us today. Our goal here is to help businesses grow by offering marketing tips and strategies via our interactive Facebook group. So guess what? I am Helena Richardson. I'm a former NASA IT specialist and founder of H Rich Networks. You can find out more about H Rich Networks by visiting our website at www.hrichnetworks.com. So guess what, guys? My friend and co-host is here. Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
Doing great, Helena. Wonderful. Hey, everybody. Michelle with Triangle Social Media here. Happy to come on board with Helena and share marketing tips for business owners and invite business owners to speak as well and share your expertise with us. I own Triangle Social Media and I help businesses with their social media platforms through platform management, social media coaching, and workshops and meetups. I also have a social media coaching club. If you're interested in joining, would love to give you more information. Michelle at trianglesocialmedia.com. So, Helena, we have a wonderful guest with us today, don't we?
Yes,
And
we do.
information about that. Our guest today is Tammie Riley. She's a full-time marketing professional by day and a budding entrepreneur and blogger by night. She created her own brand, Youngfully Employed, in 2015 to help young professionals like herself through the ups and downs of being a working millennial, right, in this century. She blogs part-time at youngfullyemployed.com, and she posts vlog-style videos in her YouTube channel, which is awesome. We're all working on our YouTube channels. Hey, Tammie, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come talk to us. And so we'd love for you to share about yourself and your business and things, tell us all about you.
Sure. So currently, I work full time in the marketing department of a local engineering firm. So I will say it's been quite a learning curve for me. I've never worked in engineering before. So it was a lot to learn, but I love it so far. Boss is great, team is great, company is great. So glad to be there. I pretty much handle everything under the umbrella of digital marketing, social media like yourself, website, email marketing, SEO. I even manage our internal site as well, our intranet. I do video scripts. I mean, pretty much anything you can think of. That's pretty much what I do. Now, when I'm not working full time, I have my own website called Youngfully Employed, which, like you said, I started it back in 2015. And I blog there. And I also have my own YouTube channel where I post videos as well. And slowly but surely trying to be my own entrepreneur, trying to work that out. It is a tough job, it's not for everyone. So, but I'm enjoying it. So that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
that is
what
great.
inspired you to become an entrepreneur? What triggered that?
It was a mix of things. I think the number one thing that really inspired me was that I wanted creative freedom. And if you've ever worked in corporate, which both of you have, I'm pretty sure,
Mhm.
you don't get as much of that. It's a very, strict kind of red tape type of place. So that was the number one reason. I just wanted to be able to share my ideas and all of my innovative opinions and like not have to store them away because of politics at the job. I think also too, I definitely wanted to work for myself to also kind of have freedom to live, if you could say. Definitely like making my own schedule and being able to kind of get out and get inspired by going to a yoga class or going to to the park to work one day. All of those things definitely excite me and keep me motivated. So I guess you could kind of say those are my two big reasons.
Awesome.
That is
So
great.
go ahead, Helena. Do you have a question?
Sure. You know, it's we all kind of been going through this COVID. We go up, down, and then up, down, and around, and then they say we can go out and play, and then we have to come back in. So, I know it's well, being a millennial, and you could just let us know how have you, or what have you learned during this experience?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned, which I kind of talked to you about already, Helena, is that I think empathy is going to be the biggest thing that moves us forward. I think people forget that everyone has their own story, and not everyone grew up like you, not everyone thinks like you, and it's
Right.
basically our diversity that really just brings us together. And I always try to remember that I want to be empathetic to other people's obstacles and dreams and desires. And I want to be able to understand that, because I just think it's going to make me a better person overall. And especially working in marketing, I mean, empathy is literally what drives our jobs. So you have to be able to understand different people and understand what motivates them and things like that. So I think COVID was kind of like a big like slap in the face. Like it's time to start really, like unifying and understanding each other and just being kind to one
Yeah,
another. So
absolutely.
I love that, actually. Empathy, right? We all need more of that.
mhm.
I have a different kind of question for you, Tammie.
Yeah.
Try to pull different things out of the box there. So, if you could talk to your even younger self,
If I could talk to myself 10 years ago,
I appreciate your youthful spirit. And what advice would you give yourself, 10 years ago that you've learned and you would want your younger self to know?
um, I would say that I would tell myself that your opinions and your ideas are valid. I spent the bulk of my childhood and honestly kind of still to this day sometimes um, really like struggling with that imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
And I think if I could just go back and tell myself that like you were on the right track, just keep going. Don't let other people try to talk you down or keep you from what you want to do. I just can't imagine how much further I'd be right now.
Mhm.
So I would say that that's definitely my biggest piece of advice to anyone really who's dealing with that. We all have something to say and we all have value to bring.
Right.
Very good advice.
It is. And I think we all kind of go through that, even in my seasoned years, I recall having to go through that, even sometimes still doing it, even after all of the various experiences. So, you just have to keep it moving and keep living.
Yep.
And as you learn more, you begin to move those blocks into various places as you grow.
Hmm. I agree. 100%.
Hmm. Good talk. And we all strive to do that, right?
Mhm.
Ongoingly, right? The
Yes,
ever struggle. Because we can always learn and grow, and sometimes we'll step back, so we pick it up and we move forward again. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Ask some technical questions, veering towards the social media and marketing background. Michelle, would you like to start?
sure. I mean, why don't you just think of some strategies that you feel are strong that you like to implement or give advice on, and just share whatever comes to mind for you, Tammie.
Uh, I think Okay, number one, and this was a tip that I had shared earlier this week, but I just want to stress that social media is social. And people forget that part of it. They post, they know the algorithm, they use the hashtags, they use the right type of angles on their photos, and then they forget to actually engage with people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's twofold. For one, you're building those relationships with people. You're getting to know your customers and clients and your advocates and everything. And on the second hand, the algorithm actually rewards you the more that you're social. So that's the biggest thing. Like if no one takes anything else from me, like I just want people to know that the more you start to build relationships with people, the better you're going to be off with
And
your business as a person. I know, yeah, I know you're like all for this, Michelle.
absolutely.
Although
Yes.
I come from a different angle, I'm 100% agree with you guys and what you say and I love that the way that you say that it rewards you when you're more engaged. That is, I'm going to use that. Okay.
Feel free. Let's spread the news.
Yeah. People forget sometimes. I mean, there are some people who kind of have a lack of understanding, and they're like, okay, I want to see, I want to see results really fast. It's like
Hmm.
it takes time to build that up, and there's things you've got to do.
Yep.
And one of the main ones is engaging. No matter what else you do, even if you have paid ads, you've got to engage and you've got to build those relationships. That's where, a lot of your referrals come from, right?
Hmm.
It's not just a result of a post, but like you said, real, like the human element is so important.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
we're on the same page as far as that goes. Yes.
Now you get excited.
I was asking a
He has a
question.
question here. It says, for example, using IG, how would you engage customers?
Well, you're going to go to their platforms and you're going to comment on their posts, number one. You're going to reply to the posts that they share on your stuff, number two. What do you say for number three, four, and five, Tammie?
Um, Another trick that I like to do is so these hashtags that we're posting, I see people put like 30 hashtags on their posts, which is like the maximum you can put on Instagram, but they don't do anything else with those hashtags. So what I always tell people is go through those hashtags, look for other posts, and start having conversations with people through those hashtags. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised how many people are also interested in weddings when you're using the wedding hashtag that you could start relationships with. So,
Yes,
yes,
That's
absolutely.
mhm.
Tech strategies.
right?
Uh, any other questions that we've got? Let's see.
I think that was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
guys can keep it coming. I mean, if you have any questions, we love questions, and if it's something we can answer, we will definitely answer. If not, we'll ask Google.
And you can always put a question after the fact and we'll
Mhm.
see it because the
Yes.
video's in the group and it also goes to YouTube and a few other places where we share it. So we will definitely watch those notifications and answer your question if you have one.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Anything
Um,
else you want to talk about?
there's another question. What's the most challenging part of marketing to you?
um, Thank you for the question. I just saw that's my fiance. Hello. um, the most challenging, I think I would have to say it's actually my favorite part of marketing and also the most challenging part at the same time. I actually got into marketing because it's different every day, and I love that. I don't like falling into a routine. I love that one day I might be, coming up with a social media campaign, and the next day I might be cutting out flyers and trying to get them all mailed off to our clients.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could also be a challenge because things change really quickly in the marketing world. And if you are not on top of it, you can easily get left behind like that. So, a bit
Mhm.
challenging, but still kind of fun,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Totally on board with that. All the changes recently.
Yeah. So we
Italy.
have to bring you on more often. We have some more questions. Is there any suggestions for content for small businesses? I personalize customize apparel and products.
So there is always content ideas for your business. Let me start there. Um, I recently told a friend that as much as you can slice and dice the content that you have, that's how you're going to keep your content consistent. So, for example, she had testimonials on her website, and I told her take the first sentence from one testimonial, post that, have a little caption with it, add some hashtags, and then 3 weeks later, when you're posting another, testimonial post, take the second sentence, post that, make that into a post. Um, there's a lot of different ways that you can really like cut different things. I told
Mhm.
another client not too long ago, he's going to be selling books for an online bookstore, and I told him, take those books, and I want you to take one book in particular and take like 7 different photos from 7 different angles and come up with different topics and ideas to talk about for that one image. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of play around with, how you promote yourself and how you share content with others. So I think it's just all about getting creative and, of course, working with someone like Michelle, who's really skilled in this. She can also kind of, give you some more ideas to play off of.
And you now. Absolutely. Yeah, there's so many different things, so many streams of marketing, so many different angles. Like you said, I like that example because taking a picture in different angles, the same thing, take that mindset and come at it from all different angles, right? Whatever,
Exactly.
come at it from all different angles, and you've got that one idea becomes, splintered into a whole bunch, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's great. I
So
think
that's,
there's another.
yeah, getting us to the end of our segment here. But so guys, we often ask you to come on and do some tips, strategies, etc. Just like they were talking about strategies that you can use in regards to using images and so forth. Well, when you get those 3 tips that you're going to use throughout this dialogue here, you can take that and for 3 weeks you have content.
Mm-hmm.
So don't use all of your tips in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Spread them out. I mean, I had what it was 9 tips to starting a business, and I had something about having a website. And man, I was able to go up for 9 months with data because I was meeting once a week. And the more information you have, the more you can spread it out, and you
Mm.
have more information that you can share with your audience.
Mm-hmm. I always like to say, treat your content like meal prep. Take
Yeah,
one meal and spread it as far as you can
There you go. I like that.
yeah,
spread it.
Great
yeah.
example. So, yeah, there's definitely more ideas and things. You know, if anybody has other questions, we can come back to it and brainstorm more with you. But yes, definitely do lives. Yes,
Yes,
video. Absolutely,
yes,
number one.
for
Video,
sure, guys.
absolutely. Tammie, we're gonna have you come back so that more people are coming on asking questions, right?
Yeah. And I mean,
Appreciate.
as long as I don't mind leaving it open as long as the platform people are asking and engaging, because I would not want to just cut them off. I know.
Mhm.
So we'll just let you guys know the reason why we usually keep it under 10 minutes so that with videos, you can share it. Once you have a video, you can share it across multiple platforms. And the cutoff is about 10 minutes. But I always say if there's more information, keep it coming, keep it coming. And people are still asking, Michelle, and I would not want to close out without answering their questions, especially if we're seeing them.
Yeah.
Um, there is one here. I think you answered that one, Michelle, about the live, and you can use the suggestion, just what we mentioned just a minute ago.
Mhm.
And let's see. Yeah, and your fiance. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your
Yeah.
engagement.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Fletcher would like to know, how do you suggest to small business owners to find topics to create content when they struggle with creativity?
Um, so the best place I could start from is, and this is kind of what we do in marketing, and I think there's a way that you can kind of take it and simplify it, but I would start with creating personas for your clients.
Mhm.
Um, and what that means, in case any of you don't know what that means, come up with a profile for your ideal client, and I mean like an in depth profile. Like, where do they like to hang out? What's their job? What's their income? Where do they live? You know, what are their interests? What do they not like? Come up with that type of profile. And from there, it'll be easier to kind of start fleshing out content ideas. Because once you know who your customer is, and then you'll know what type of information they're looking for, or what types of things they want to see in your business. You know, for example, if you're an apparel business, like the other person mentioned earlier, if you're dealing with, let's say, you're dealing with a millennial like me who's looking for a new clothing line, and you come up with a persona for me, well, then you'll know that millennials, we care about where your clothes are sourced from. So, are you a green company? Are you sustainable? Are they biodegradable? Do you partner with a cause? Do you help animals out in the safari or something? I'm just talking, but but I would definitely say starting from the customer. What does your customer want? So hopefully that answers it.
Yeah, and know, like someone just said, know your audience. And you know what?
Mhm.
I'm looking at some of these comments. I believe that if you're on social media, even if you use an icon with, and I don't know if it's the system that we're using, but to show your icon of your business or show your face or something. Normally, if it's a icon and nobody has a face on it, I usually don't respond to it or connect with them, because I don't know if it's someone just you know
Like a
trolling.
bot or a troll.
Yeah. So you have any other um, questions or statements, Michelle?
Just that there's so many things to talk about, think about, and do when you're a business owner. Marketing, there's so many different things involved in marketing. And so we're always researching and sharing and learning and growing. And don't ever
Yeah.
stop, because there's always new things to learn. And as long as you keep that open mindedness, you will expand, and that you've got to be doing things. It's a lot of
Mhm.
work. And if you can't do it yourself, you can outsource it to someone like Tammie or myself, or you can just, hook up also with the same type of people like us for maybe the coaching or the workshops instead of hiring out full time. There's different ways to get help, at different levels depending on where you're at with a marketing budget. So that's a
Mhm.
good thing too. So yeah, I think that is a wonderful bunch of sets of advice and just tips and things like that. And we look forward to connecting with more. So more people that are watching this, even after it's been finished airing, go ahead and post your questions. Connect with Tammie. Tammie, please leave the links for your website, your social media platforms in the thread of this video where you see it, and so that people can connect with you. And maybe they want to schedule a meeting with you. That would be great. So yeah, we appreciate you coming on. And I think that's pretty much it for now, right? We're going to wrap it up, but we will continue to watch notifications for more questions. And everyone, please come back next Thursday, every Thursday at 5 p.m., Social Studio with Helena and Michelle. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome. See you guys later and take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thanks again, Tammie, for everything that you partaked in this video right here for us. We
Mm.
appreciate you. Thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we'll
Take
see you next
care. All righty.